Alright guys, so you can see that I'm on the official IELTS IDP site, and here you have free IELTS practice tests for the computer delivered test. So the moment I click on IELTS reading, it opens another uh, you can say another website for me on a separate page, and once I click on my details are correct, it shows me the same instructions that you would see in your IELTS exam. So I just need to click on start test. All right, so this is how the screen would look like in your actual IELTS exam. Now let's have a look at what all do we have. On the top, there is a beautiful timer, all right, which you can click on to see the exact number of seconds left. So that is quite helpful. Then another thing that is amazing is the questions are all here. So you can browse back and forward through your questions. Let's say I want to begin from the 30th question. I can just click here and I can start from here. Another beautiful thing is I can mark my questions for review. So you can see here on the bottom left, there is a check box called review. So imagine if the first question I don't want to answer it right now, I can simply click on review and I can move to the next one. So you can see the first question is now shown with a black circle, and the questions which are not attempted are black squares. And once let's say I select an answer, all right, and I move to the next one. So the questions which are answered are in white. So you can clearly distinguish that I have left the first question right now. I have to come back to it later. So that is amazing. Another advantage is you can clearly see I don't need to write much. I just need to click. Even on the second question, I need to select one option. All right, even on the third one, I just need to select an option. Oh, even in the fourth one. So there are fewer chances of making an error since there are fewer chances where I need to write. All right. Now, another thing is the passage is visible on the same screen as the questions. So if the passage was longer, right now it isn't. Let's go to the next passage. Let's see if that is longer. Oh yes, this passage, the second one, you can clearly see it is much longer. And I can scroll to see the questions and the passage on the same screen, which is very beneficial. Now, another feature that I wanted to draw your attention to is if I select this with the left click, and if I do a right click, there is an option of highlighting. So you can see that I am able to highlight. Another option is that I can select, I can make notes, and wait for it, guys. Let's say, imagine I decided that my answer is attention. So I wrote it here, but I am not sure right now. All right, so I can come back to this later and I can just copy Command C and paste from my notes. So you can see the word attention has now been copied as the answer here. You can also click on the caps lock key to make sure that all of your answers are in capital. So for example, attention. So that is also another feature that you can utilize. All right. After that, so yes, I informed you about the highlight feature, the taking notes. You can also flag the questions for review and revisit them later. You can go back and forth in the questions, you can see. All right. You can copy and paste and save your time. Okay. And also, I have one feature that I am not very sure about. Right. So here you can see when I click on help, right, the task is explained to you. So imagine if you get a question that you are not sure about, you haven't practiced this question before, so it gives you the instructions with an example. So how to do the question, what do the instructions mean, like a detailed explanation, which is also quite interesting. Okay, you can also click on settings, yes, to change your screen settings. So you can change the size and color of the text as well. Right now this is not possible in this user interface because it's a demo web page, of course. But here, if you go, you will be able to change the size and color of your text. That's what IDP usually says. All right. Okay. Okay. So that was all about the reading module. I believe I have informed you everything that is there in the reading module. Okay. All right. Now let's move forward to the next module, which is listening. So from the same page, I can see the listening test as well. And once I click here, it asks me to put on my earphones and click on the play sound to play a sample sound. So here,
change the volume using the bar in the top right corner.
That's the sample sound that you would hear in the exam as well. All right. And you can raise your hand if you need the invigilator to come and assist you. Remember, do not panic. An invigilator would be there throughout. So even if you face some issue in an unforeseen circumstance with your computer, you would have help. Okay, now if I click on continue, you can see that my listening test is going to begin. All right, so I have 3
Right,
questions.
Judy, this week it's your turn to bring us up to date on your dissertation. So?
All right, so that was a
And
sample.
we also
audio that
hold
I played.
regular events at the library.
Do I have to book for any of the events?
Okay, so that is how the screen looks like for the question. Again, you just need to select. That's it. You just need to tick mark, and you can see the
Right, Judy,
color.
this week it's your turn to bring us up to date on your dissertation.
Apologies. You can see the color of the questions changing at the bottom. So here the ones that are attempted in white color, and in case I want to flag a question, I can just click on it and mark it for review, and the color changes. So it is again quite convenient. You can also use the caps lock feature for the listening module. Okay, and again the highlight feature is also available. You can see I've highlighted something on the screen. Now moving to the third module. So you would have the listening, then the reading, and then the writing test. So here is my writing module. Now once again I'm going to click my this one, right? So my details are correct. You can see that part 2 and part 1, there are 2 parts. Once again, if I click on start test, let us have a look at all of the features now. There are quite a lot of features here, guys. So first one is, you can see the time remaining on the top, which is amazing because a lot of students get carried away. You need to manage your own time in both tasks. So this timer is extremely beneficial. Okay. Then you can see the task and the place to type is on the same screen. All right. Now look at the bottom. Here it says word count. This is the best feature of the computer delivered test. All right. I can, let's say, type here. So let's say for example, the bar graph, the total count of commutes made by pupils of a country. So you can see that I have typed something and the word count has appeared at the bottom. So it says word count 15. Okay. Now another amazing feature for people like me who make a lot of errors or who like to backspace. So you can just backspace as much as you want. Also, so imagine let's say you've written an entire paragraph. So imagine that I wrote an entire paragraph here. Okay. Apologies, one second. Let's say that this is a paragraph that I've written here. Now, imagine you want to shift it to the second paragraph. So what you can do is you can just select it, Control C, and paste it as well. So once again, you have the copy paste function in the writing module, which is quite beneficial. All right. And now you can see word count 211, which is more than enough for task 1. All right. Now, another thing which you must see is actually here 1 and 2. You can toggle between both of these. you can switch between them. Why is this beneficial? Because I always recommend my students to attempt task 2 first. So if you want, you can go ahead and do that. You can first write the essay, and after that is done, you can come back to the first task and then do it, which makes the most sense to me. All right, so those were the features. The Let me tell you, the grammar checker or the spelling checker, these features, of course, would not be there in the exam, but you do have a word count and the time remaining feature, which is great. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, do click on the like button, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.